guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Jaguar Land Rover St. Petersburg because guess what? We have that full-size, full-on luxury SUV from a surprising brand. What is it? It's this vehicle right here. This is your Jeep Grand Wagoneer. This particular one is a Grand Wagoneer Obsidian. But before we get into this murdered out full-size luxury SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. If you go back to the 1960s, before a Cadillac Escalade ever was a thing, or a Lincoln Navigator, guess what? The Grand Wagoneer name existed. And that really was a huge, iconic, earth-shattering moment for Jeep, because that is what we saw when we think about SUVs today and luxury touches. That's where we start to see the foundation of what we would now know as full-size luxury SUVs. It was the first of such vehicles to have things like a CB radio and leather interior. The Wagoneer and the Grand Wagoneer disappeared from Jeep's lineup, but then it came back, and boy, oh boy, did it come back in a big way with this full-size version. Now, you can get your Wagoneer or Grand Wagoneer many different ways. This is with the Obsidian package, which kind of blacks out everything, and I really think it not only looks good, but it helps with the overall size of the vehicle. But what I want to find out is, if you're looking for a full-size luxury SUV, do you go with a Grand Wagoneer, especially an Obsidian package one, or do you go with the Lincoln Navigator? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our Grand Wagoneer and find out. Right off the bat, it has that boxy Jeep style to it, but you know that there's something different about it, that's for sure. Now at the front of the business, full LED lighting, LED projector beam headlights. I love the way the turn signals have that kind of swipe flow to them when they're flashing, and you got your LED daytime running lamps. Now on the interior of the housing, everything is blacked out, because with this Obsidian package, you're going to get full blacked out treatment. You'll notice all of the trim has been blacked out, and as we work our way down, you have this lower pod with multi-LED beam fog lamps, and I like the way they did this kind of textured black trim for the front end of this massive Grand Wagoneer. Now, as we come across the front grille, there it is, the 7-slotted grille. You'll notice on the Grand Wagoneer how they put this nice kind of textured finish in each of the openings. The Wagoneer name with the silver just pops off. The one thing I have to zonk is the overbite on the hood. That to me, I don't know, it just doesn't look like it's finished well. But the reason why they have that is for crash safety testing, the way the front end goes in and the hood would then fold. It's all about absorbing the energy of the impact. You have a forward-facing camera with a washer. Love all the detail on the grille. Working your way down, of course, ours is a metallic black paint job. And on the bottom portion, you have full functionality with the lower grille, and there's more of that texture going on. What's great about this is that you have your adaptive air ride suspension, so you could raise and lower this vehicle to where you could have up to 10 inches of ground clearance, and this will go through about 2 feet of water. So it does have the credentials to really take that off-roading to another level, just like you're used to with a Jeep product. Now, as we rise up, besides the overbite, I like the nice bold indentations. You have that same grille appearance on the back portion of the hood. Really gives it a nice, unique look. And then coming around the bend, what are we working with wheel and tire setup? Just like is the name of the game in the auto industry with SUVs, you got big old manhole cover wheels. These things are 22 inches in diameter. Love the gloss black accents with the metallic gunmetal gray finish. And I like the style of the wheel. I feel like it looks sporty, but also luxurious. And of course, being 22 inches really takes up a lot of that fender opening. Now, talking about fenders, you're gonna get that unique fender shape opening like you find on other Jeep products. And I like the way that there's no flat black. Everything is body color matched. Now, coming down the side, You're gonna get power folding side mirrors with your 360-degree cameras and the LED turn signals. Just like the front badge, the Grand Wagoneer badge with the American flag has that silver background, so it just pops off from the side. And when you're actually looking at the length of this, this falls into alignment with the Navigator, with the Escalade, with the Yukon. Now, of course, you're gonna have those automatic dropping running boards, and I love the way they pull nice and tightly to the body. And it's very interesting how they do the window openings. The trim goes around the whole window rather than just across the bottom and across the top. This is a signature look from Jeep. You do have your gloss black roof rails with that same kind of textured design up top. And then working our way towards the rear, good size on the quarter window. And then swinging around back, what do we got going on? Now, a lot of people say it looks like a hearse. And I have to agree, the way it's kind of squared off, especially without a roof spoiler, it does have that hearse style to it in a way. And I can't stand the exposed wiper. This to me is a big zonk, but you do have a washer for your backup camera, and that Grand Wagoneer name, the way it pops off the back. Look at the way they did the LED lighting, really crisp. Our badging is all blacked out. You can see we have that Quadra Drive 2 set up here, and then working our way down to ground level, no exposed exhaust. And to me, that's a zonk. I wish that it had this, you can see the dual outlet exhaust on the bottom. I just wish that they kind of gave us some finishing tips and molded it into the rear bumper, sort of like what they do on the back of a Dodge Charger. This cover comes off because of course you're gonna have full tow capability with this, but let's pop the hood and see what's underneath this Grand Wagoneer because it may surprise you. All right guys, we got the hood open. Here's the surprise, no V8. This is your Hurricane setup. So this is that straight six twin turbocharged engine. We have the high output. Love the badge here where it says born in America, where it's designed, where it's built, but what kind of power are we looking at? You're looking at that 3-liter straight six twin turbocharged engine, 510 horsepower, 500 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to a TorqueFlite 8-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in this beast, 4.5 seconds. Top speed is governed to 115 miles an hour. The vehicle weighs 6,428 pounds. MPGs, 14 in the city, 19 on the highway, and you could tow a tick under 10,000 pounds. It's actually 9,860 pounds. Compare that to the Navigator, that has a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 that puts out about 440 horsepower. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this Hurricane and see if it rocks us like one. All right, guys, we are inside this 2023 Jeep Grand Wagoneer Obsidian. This is a Series 2 level, which remember there is a Series 3 level above it, but I do like the way it's got the Obsidian package. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I want something big. I remember my grandpappy. Him and I used to ride out into the wilderness with his Grand Wagoneer, and I remember talking on the CB radio. My call name was Rubber Ducky. But I know that things have changed with these Jeep Grand Wagoneers. How much is it? Well, this particular one, the way that it's optioned, the asking price is $79,000. Let's see what you get when you go Jeep Grand Wagoneer. To the door panels. Love the exquisite attention to detail. You have that nice aluminum trim, soft touch black material. Your seat controls are up high on the door panel, full massage settings as well. There's contrast stitching throughout, a nice armrest, but what the zonk is the gloss black around the switchgear. Not a big fan of the gloss black because that's going to make a bunch of fingerprints. Then you get to the middle section. Follow that aluminum trim into our Macintosh sound system. 1,370 watts of power, and then a door pocket large enough for 2 Subway foot-long meatball subs, extra parm, and a Mountain Dew to wash it down. Now going to the Door panel to the dash. This thing's got screens out the yin-yang. You have a 10.25-inch touchscreen for the passenger. As the driver, I cannot see what is on the screen. And to be honest with you, right now it's not even on. So what I'll have to do is Steven's gonna wait a second and I'm gonna power up that screen. There it is. Hopefully it's doing something because I'm swiping my fingers and it allows you to see. You can even watch Amazon TV on this thing, Prime Television, watch it in your house, bring it into the vehicle. Grand Wagoneer name, nice in that aluminum trim. And then as you come on in, you're gonna be greeted to this massive infotainment system screen. So you got that screen to the passenger, screen for you. It's got the Uconnect 5 software, which makes it very, very intuitive. Of course, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. You could go into your vehicle settings. Easy to control everything, even the ambient colors. Look at that. More colors than a box of Crayola 64 color crayons, the kind that made you jealous of your friend back in elementary school. Throw it into reverse. Backup camera, the resolution could be a little bit more clear, but trajectory, you got all these great camera views. Look at that, really nice, takes up that whole size. Right back to park. Working our way down, we have real buttons for your dual climate control, but if you don't want to do buttons, you could actually touch the screen. So you have your full screen capability down here, and if you don't want to see the screen, hold on, wait, before I open it, let's show the massage. So I could do my full massage settings easily on the screen, and if I want to get rid of this, watch this. Boom, 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 boom. Now I have a cubby, wireless charging. You got a 12 volt, 2 USB-A's, 2 USB-C's, and an HDMI, so you can watch movies on that 10.25-inch screen. Down below, you do have your rotary dial for that 8-speed automatic. Here's where you can raise and lower the air ride suspension. You got your different drive modes. More of that nice aluminum finish. Open up door number 1. Cup holders. And your Grand Wagoneer specific key fob. Love the buttons on the back, especially remote start. Close that up. Open this guy. We got our cool box. So you can put your box of Twinkies in there, keep them nice and chilled. Look at the way the leather goes everywhere. There's leather and stitching everywhere. The seats, same story, the stitching, the piping, the Series 2 badge, the nice bolstering, the leather, full electric assist for the passenger with massage, full electric assist and massage for me. Of course, the seats are heated, ventilated, heated steering wheel, Alcantara everywhere, Macintosh speakers everywhere, and then check it out. We got our power sunshade. Open and close. I'm not opening all the way. It's already hot enough as it is. And then of course we have our digital rear view mirror, super clear. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Grand Wagoneer. All right guys, business time. Behind the wheel, you do have 2 memory seat settings for the driver's seat, like that aluminum sill plate with the Wagoneer name. And then I like the way they finish the side of the seat as well. Grand Wagoneer, this illuminates and welcomes you. And you see where they put the leather, even on the lower portion. A lot of brands don't do that. They keep it plastic. I'm 6 feet tall. I feel fantastic in here. Steering wheel, nice design. They did this to mimic the old Grand Wagoneer steering wheel. Flat bottom with the metal trim. Gloss black on the buttons. I guess that's okay. Grand Wagoneer badge with the stitching. On the side, it is an electric tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you have that beautiful 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. You could scroll through a cornucopia of information in here. And of course, 14 miles to the gallon. Look, I got all my gauges. Really, really nice to have that kind of flexibility nicely set up in this vehicle. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the mid row and to the third row and see if the Grand Wagoneer brings the most. All right guys, mid row time. You'll notice that we have the AC vents nicely on the frame rail. And right above that, we have these grab handles with leather and stitching. Nicely done as well. Door pocket, really good size. This is where you're gonna be able to put a bag of Brock's caramels or maybe some circus peanuts. And then one of the big zonks back here, look at all the gloss black. This is just stupid how much gloss black there is. You got your AC vents, your Grand Wagoneer, and then you have your 2 HDMIs, and of course a USB-C on both sides. Down below, home power source, and a 12 volt, but I just don't know why there's so much gloss black here. That to me is kind of stupid. You'll notice that you do get a nice infotainment system back here, touchscreen, 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, and your AC controls, all nicely positioned. 2 cup holders. You have a little cubby here for, I would say, one iPhone 47 Platinum Edition. It's got felt lining on it, so it's not going to get scratched. And then you open it up all the way. Check this out. This is where you could put 2 bags of Funyuns, king-size bags of Funyuns. Just make sure you're not ready to kiss anybody because you're really going to turn them off. But sitting back here, the comfort, we have manual security shades. Let's see if I can get it. Can Joe get it? Yes, got it. More of that wonderful felt lining. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the third row, because I think there's some things back there that may surprise you. All right, guys, third row time, and boy, you're going to get freaking spoiled getting back here. I'm a grown adult, as you know, even though I act like a kid sometimes, especially around cars, but I'm 6 feet tall and I'm not even close to the headliner. My knees are nice and low. The opening to get in is nice and wide. And sitting here, I'm in the lap of luxury. They do a great job on the leather, on the, the style of the seat, because sometimes they just put it's almost like a wooden plank covered in leather in the third row. And on top of that, I have some power recline. USB-Cs, USB-As, love the padding on the armrests. And then I even have my own glass panoramic roof back here with a manual shade. What else could I ask for? But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the cargo area, because I want to take you for a ride in this Grand Wagoneer. All right, guys, cargo area time. Obviously, hit the button, nice electric assist. You're going to be greeted to, with that third row up, about 27 cubic feet of space. What I like is you have all the switch gear over here to raise and lower your seats, and there is a 12 volt, which is nice as well. Go ahead and hit the button. One touch operation, nice electric assist. Everything drops down, super smooth. And you can see where I was sitting in the third row, look at how they bring the leather to the armrest, USB-C, USB-A, and the power reclining seats. And then of course you get all the floor mats, more floor mats than you know what to do with. And there's the subwoofer for that Macintosh stereo system to give you the bump out of the bass. Now if you look for the button up here, it's not. Just like every other Jeep, they actually put the button right there, and that's going to give you the buzz to bring it down. But if you're ready, I'm definitely ready. This thing looks pretty crazy. It looks like something that the FBI or the CIA would drive. Let's go ahead. We got hurricane power. Let's go on throttle and see what it feels like. All right, guys, we left Jaguar Land Rover St. Petersburg. We're in this 2023 Jeep Grand Wagoneer Obsidian. Now, the great news is that whether you go 23 or 24, it's the exact same Grand Wagoneer. They haven't made any changes to it, because I really believe that, especially on the interior, they did a bang-up job. Getting to the infotainment system screen is well within reach, very intuitive with how to operate it. And then the fact that you have heated and ventilated seats in here, plus you have massage seats, which you can see on the lower screen. You could adjust your massage seats and just the seating in general. But with that Hurricane engine, it really does have plenty of power. You are not going to be hurting for power in this thing compared to a V8. But let me show you the on throttle. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Woo! Nice smooth shifts from that TorqueFlite 8-speed automatic, and you're not really waiting for that boost to build up. And don't forget, the engine is very stout because it's got a forged crank, it's got forged rods. They really did some pretty cool bench testing with the engine for hours and hours and hours. So that's the really nice thing about this setup. I'm gonna go ahead and put it into sport mode. That's actually gonna lower the vehicle and make it a little bit more aerodynamic, and also lower the center of gravity, of course. but very, very smooth. The Hurricane engine produces its torque and power very smooth. There's really no road noise or wind noise, even when riding on those 22-inch wheels. And these seats are just super comfortable, especially with how many ways you can adjust them and the massage setting. And you have that premier Macintosh sound system, over 24 speakers, and it's 1,370 watts of power. Love the way that the dash is super clean up top with the stitching. Your infotainment system screen is mounted nicely within the center dash area, not sticking out. And I don't know of any other SUV that has this much screen going on in the interior. If you had the rear screens for your passengers to watch their shows and stuff, that would be about 72 inches of screen combined total of everything that you see. So that to me is pretty mind-blowing with the technology that they're bringing. But I really, really do love driving this Jeep Grand Wagoneer, the way it rides, the way it feels, all the appointments, and I really think that the setup on this one with the Obsidian package is extra nice. But you got the Quadra all-wheel drive system, getting power down to all four wheels. Let's go on throttle, pulling out in the traffic here. On throttle, here we go. Look at that. Very, very quick, especially for as much as it weighs. And it doesn't feel as large as you would think sitting behind the wheel. U-turn, piece of cake. Very nicely done. And really, I think shows that Jeep has that capability to provide luxury in a full-size SUV. But we're gonna go ahead. We need to get back to Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete and wrap this one up. I hope that you've enjoyed this overall review. I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day, another hot day here at Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete. Definitely want to thank Miro and the rest of the team getting us access to this Jeep Grand Wagoneer Obsidian. Let me know what you think. Are you liking what Jeep's bringing? Would you rather go Lincoln? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rise family. Gotta get it out of Stephen Flood. Stephen Flood Photography, no matter how hot it gets, he's always keeping his cool. That's why he is good at what he does. Show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.